Okay, I'm going to begin now because many people said they couldn't come on to the live call, but would like to receive the recording. So I'd just like to start with a bit of breathing, actually, just so that we can arrive into this space. Feeling very welcome here. My name's Guy Barrington. I'm excited to have you here today on this wealth curriculum introduction. So the invitation is to close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in through your nose for the count of 4. Big sigh through the mouth for a count of 6 or 8. And again, in breath through the nose, out breath through the mouth. Just one more big breath, just so you can tune in to yourself. Great. So the invitation is to keep yourself connected with yourself during this next period of time. And I will introduce to you some of the main principles that I've been experiencing around wealth. It's what I'm calling the inner game of wealth. So it's a very exciting time of possibility where we have the capacity to really wake ourselves up in consciousness and energy and get to a new paradigm of what wealth means for us, how wealth feels for us, and how wealth expresses for us. So this is a huge opportunity to wake up from this kind of sleepy matrix conditioned self into an alert, awake, conscious, responsible creator. So it's very exciting to share these words with you and hope you find them interesting and inspiring. This is an introduction to a 21-day program, wealth program, that I'm offering beginning next week. And that'll be a deepening into all the areas of expression that I talk about today. So one of the first places I'd like to begin is to redefine wealth, right? To really consider what wealth means for you or has meant for you. And this is an exercise that you can either do it right now or later, is to write down the meaning of wealth. So just write, what does wealth mean? And then you can put on the left-hand column the negatives and the right-hand column the positives. So just coming to this awareness, what does wealth mean for you? So just take a moment, just breathe into that and feel into it. And connecting, you can think about this. So thinking about the process, what does wealth mean? What does it come to mean? And how did you come about this perception? How did you come about these ideas about wealth? Who defined them for you? Where did you borrow or acquire or learn about these wealth concepts and beliefs and activity? The chances are, in our early years, we, through osmosis and conditioning, repeat the wealth concepts and perceptions and activities of our parents and caregivers, the people close to us. So this is quite significant. Our early years imprinting, whether we were aware of it or not aware of it, has a big impact on our subconscious. And then the subconscious then continues to reproduce and recreate situations from those past early years perceptions. So you can observe how wealth was in the family. So I just want to say hi to Kevin and Nicola. Thank you for joining today. And all the others who are going to watch this afterwards, the recording. Yeah, so just referring to early years wealth perceptions, how these have been hardwired into our brain, and what we believe comes into what we behave. So our attitudes become our actions. Our thoughts become the things that we express in the world. Now, a lot of the wealth programming has gone in unconsciously, like passively. As a young sponge, we've soaked it up. And it might have been fear around money or poverty, or there might be a lack of love or joy in the house, or you might not have seen your parents self-caring, nourishing themselves, filling their cup up. You might have picked up all sorts of different interpretations and experiences about what wealth is or wealth isn't. And these early years interpretations and perceptions become the bedrock, the foundation that we begin to look out through. So I want to invite you to consider you've got a pair of glasses on, and these glasses have got filters on, and maybe they're green or red or orange or a mixture of all sorts of colors. And these filters represent the beliefs that you've acquired from the past. So your believing around wealth becomes the filter. And the filter you now look out to the world through tints and affects what you see. Now you genuinely believe that what you're looking at is the reality, not aware that there's a filter between you and what is seen. And that filter becomes a projection mechanism, projecting onto the screen of experience what you already believe. So you're kind of walking into your own expectations. You're experiencing what you expected to see, what you believe to see. And if what you believe to see is poverty, scarcity, surviving, lack of abundance, stress, tension, fear, then you're going to walk into this and then through your adult years continue to reproduce this. So there's a familiarity in the absence of wealth. There's a familiarity in the absence of wholeness. It becomes familiar to live in a kind of numb, dumbed down, confused, lacking state because it's become our norm. It's become the unconscious standard. And then we seek the familiarity. There's a safety in familiarity. So I just want to breathe into that for a moment. Breathe into what you've acquired, what you've brought with you, how it is currently manifesting. Manifesting in your relationships, in your health, your well-being, in your expression. And noticing that we are bringing forwards, backwards. What comes from the past, we bring forwards and then project that onto the screen of experience, unconsciously. Our subconscious is designed to create the experience of reality, our personal, relative experience of reality. Okay, so we might be filtering this and looking out at the world, expecting lack. Now, in your conscious awareness, in your heart, in your current state of presence, it might not be what you want at all. You might be wishing for fulfillment, abundance, joy, love. I hope you are. I hope you have a strong wish and desire for a full, complete, resonant experience of life, connected with the universe, the multiverse, and everyone and everything within it. But this is why it's not currently manifesting, because there's a confusion in the projection field. We say we want one thing, and yet the subconscious is producing a reality based on past interpretations, past beliefs. So when we're looking at the wounds of wealth, which we can call the poverty of perception, we need to look at the beliefs that we've acquired, the attitudes we've acquired, the stories we tell ourselves about what wealth is or isn't. So this is quite a journey of self-inquiry to begin to write out, to speak out, to bring into awareness, bring into the light of awareness what you currently believe wealth is. And be really honest about this, like really just express it as it is. So this is the first stage, is to really look at the filters that we are projecting onto the current screen of experience. And we can know this by the reality that we are living in. So just a question on reality there. In my view, and hopefully in all our views, reality is relative to the one looking. So not one reality we're all simultaneously experiencing. We're experiencing our version of reality from our angle of perception. Now this becomes incredibly significant because if we can shift our perception, we can shift our experience of reality. This is why I call this the inner game of wealth. It's not about moving circumstances, changing relationships or people or jobs or careers. It's not about that as a starting point. That is a consequence. That's an effect. What I'm deeply interested in is the cause, creative cause. Now, what's amazing in this approach to wealth I'm offering with you is it begins in the imagination. It begins in feeling. It begins in energy. And so the deeper invitation to look at when looking at what is wealth is to expand our paradigm, that means our way of seeing what wealth is. Let's really open this up. So just seeing here, it says that the video is disconnected for a minute. I'm just going to wait and see if it reconnects. Okay, good. Sounds like the connection is back on. This is great. Okay, if the connection is bouncing in and out, not to worry, because the recording should be pretty good, and then I can put the recording up later. But hopefully it's alive enough for you to get some value out of it. So I was talking about perception and reality and the relativity of reality and how we can redream our meaning of what wealth is. So this is really hugely important to begin from this present moment, how you wish and desire wealth to be in your life. This becomes the energy through which you will manifest. This becomes the energy from which you will live. So your desire generates an enthusiasm. It generates an emotion. It generates an energy. And that propels us into action, inspired action, which is rising from the desire. So to desire wealth in its fullest sense, and in its fullest sense for me, wealth equals to aliveness, full aliveness, like reclaiming the wealth of spirit, the psychic awareness, the intellectual, the emotional, the sensorial, the energetic, on all levels, fully reclaiming what wealth is for us. And how we can do this is to begin to redream wealth for ourselves. There's an amazing teacher back from the 1920s, I think, called Neville Goddard. Look him up on YouTube. Amazing teaching. And there's certain principles that he lays out, which I just want to share with you, which I'm using often and always. So the first principle is live at the end of your desire. So what he means by this is step into the future of what you want and live it in presence, like claim it in feeling. Allow yourself to, like in the virtual reality, enter with all your senses, taste, sight, smell, touch. Enter in a fullness into that living state of what you want. Imagine it, see it, detail it, feel it, enter it, fully embrace your wanting. So your body then becomes the vibration of this wanting. It becomes the energy of your desire. And this energy becomes a broadcasting signal. I need to recognize that we're broadcasting all the time, hopefully broadcasting now. Broadcasting our signal all the time, our signal of vibration, energy, presence, like the core of us. Now this broadcast goes out into what we now understand, or beginning to understand, as the quantum field. The quantum field is full of energy and intelligence, full of consciousness and energy. The quantum field is alive, it's tingling with aliveness. And as we broadcast out into the quantum field, it begins to resonate, attract, magnetize to our broadcasting signal. And this is how synchronicities begin to happen. Coincidences, chance meetings. There's a coordination between your desire, what you're wanting, what you're wishing, what you're feeling, what you're emanating, what you're broadcasting, and the response from the quantum field. This is the magic, if you like, or the metaphysics of conscious wealth generation, is to step into the future of what you wish to be and claim it in presence as a feeling, as a sensation, as a knowing. So this dialogue around wealth, which is a new conversation, I invite you to see it as a new conversation for yourself and share this conversation with others. Is it asks the question, who am I? Who am I as a being? Am I a personality embedded in beliefs of scarcity, poverty, survival? Am I just living as a stress energy field, a bundle of activity trying to survive in this world? Or am I a being connected to God, Goddess, the quantum field, the life force, the energy of life and love itself? As we start to deepen into connection with ourselves, we start to recognize our own wealth origins. So just a little practice for a moment. I invite you to close your eyes. Close your eyes. Breathe in and follow the breath in. Follow the breath in through your nose. Feel it relax into the center of your chest, into your heart. Breathe in, relax. Breathe out through the mouth and soften. And as you're breathing in, invite you to feel the connection through the breath to the life breath, to the one breath. Your breath and the breath of life is the same. Breathing in and as the life. As you breathe in, feel this breath moving through your whole body, moving through your awareness, moving through your emotion and sensation. This life energy coursing through your whole body, your being. Let it come in, allow it to come in. And the out breath resting into this. Finding a new place of anchor which feels home, which feels full, which is rested and connected. Very softly open your eyes from here. So softly coming back into the space, but keeping this gentle state of connection, inner connection. The tendency is to kind of rush through the eyes out into the world and start interpreting the objects as separate things, or people as separate entities. And we immediately throw our inner connection out into the diversity. So it's practice, a meditation practice, a self-connection practice, to stay present in this continuous state of abundance that is you embedded with the energy field, the breath field, the life love field, the wisdom field. So it asks us to open the paradigm about who we are, how we relate, how we express, instead of from personality, from presence. Instead of from story, from energy. Instead of from belief, from vibration. So this journey of wealth, reconnecting to wealth, is a journey of revivification, coming back to life, enlivenment, comes back to your natural origins as a being of creation. As this becomes more steady in you, as an awareness, as a feeling, as a knowing, then as you open your eyes, you start to look out into the wealth of the world. You start to look out into the wealth of creation. And the feeling that rises is gratitude. So a lot of people do gratitude as a practice. When you're living from your heart, it's a natural state to see from appreciation, to see with beauty. Because you're looking out from wholeness, seeing wholeness. Looking out from connection, feeling connection. So this is what we can call a state of wealth. A state is a perception, it's a trance, it's an energy, it's an awareness. A state of being, a state of wealth. And from this state of wealth, we're then producing a conversation of wealth, which is appreciation and gratitude. And this keeps the heart open, keeps the mind open, keeps the body soft and receptive. If you want to notice the difference, notice the contraction that comes when you bring in judgment, or fear, or doubt, or insecurity, or I'm not enough, or it'll never work out. Notice how your belly contracts, your emotions kind of get depressed, pushed down. My girlfriend showed me yesterday the opposite of depression is expression. Expression. To open up, to allow the life to move, to allow the energy to flow. So this is very important, to allow expression, to allow expansion. So from our wealth connection, from our energy of being, allowing ourselves to dream out into the space, what we wish, what we desire, and what we want. So just a little recap, what we are looking at so far is we are considering the wounds of wealth, where we've got into a state of poverty perception. This is one thing. Look at what was being embedded in the subconscious, which has become a filter, become the glasses that we look through, and how we've been behaving from those beliefs, anticipating them, expecting them. And then it's not a great surprise when poverty comes, scarcity comes, stress comes, tension, resistance. And then we're looking at reconnecting to ourselves as a being, as presence, as energy itself. And from this, looking out into the world with gratitude. And from this gratitude, we have this huge sense of appreciation and inspiration and connection. And then we move on to another aspect of wealth awareness, which is the flow of grace. So grace can be considered as the movement of inspiration, or the intelligence of life itself moving through, in, and as us, expanding out through this personality and body frame out into the world of expression. So to plug into the grace field is to plug into the wealth field. And it wants to be known, it wants to be expressed. Its natural desire is creation. So you've often heard, hopefully, to live from inspired action. This is living in the flow of grace. We can also call this the Tao of wealth. There's a phrase in Chinese called Wu Wei, which means actionless action. So it's when things flow through you, there's like a little effort because it's coming through you, from you, but you're tuning into a thy will, a higher force, an inspired force that's encouraging and inspiring and motivating the action and the expression and the creation and the manifestation. So this is a training in itself to learn to respond to the inner whispers, the intuition, the impressions that we feel, and take inspired action. So you tune in to the wealth presence, you feel into the grace flow, and you allow yourself to move into inspired action. This is very important. Allow yourself to move into inspired action and expression. What I'm sharing with you today requires some training and some education and some explanation and exercises to reinforce and establish and ground these practices so they become part of your new reference about what wealth is and how wealth behaves and how wealth manifests. And we want to also study what obstructs wealth, what obstructs the flow of grace, and this blocks and hinders and contracts. And one area we're looking at is past conditioning. This is the whole process of noticing what we've been conditioned in and undoing, unknotting, healing, and forgiving, letting go. And then there's a whole other skill set about the dynamics of creation itself. How do we then tune into our intuition? How do we open to vision and inspiration? How do we respond to this inspired dialogue and take action? Once you get into this new physics of reality, new physics of wealth, it becomes part of your new ordinary. Now, you've probably heard about the different stages of learning. I'll just remind us. So you've got unconscious incompetence. So you don't know how to do something and you're unconscious. even. It's just not functioning, it's not working. Okay? Then somebody has a conversation, a mentor, a teaching, a YouTube video, something appears, and suddenly you begin to get unconscious incompetence. You start to become aware that life's not functioning. This is the beginning stage of waking up. Okay? I'm now aware of what's incompetent, what doesn't work. Third stage is conscious competence. Like we learn techniques, tools, open our awareness, shift the paradigm, change our state of being. Yes, it becomes conscious. And the last stage of learning is unconscious competence. It's now embedded in the subconscious. It's now a part of us. We've now realized this. It's anchored in our awareness. And from this anchoring, it's our natural state of expression. When you first start to drive a car, it was probably very complex, all the knobs and buttons and things to look at. And now you kind of do it not with the eyes closed, but you do this in an easy state because you've acquired all of that knowledge and skills and tools and techniques and practiced it 1,000 times. But it's now embedded in the subconscious, and you now know how to drive or ride a bicycle or do anything. So these are 4 stages: unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, and unconscious competence. So it's good kind of learning spectrum, and you can start to notice where you are in that dynamic. Okay, big breath. So I want to shift into another way of looking at this now, which is to consider this journey into wealth and the inner game of wealth as what's known as the hero's journey. This is a distinction comes from famous mythologist Joseph Campbell, who describes the hero's journey. So I'm just going to lay it out for you a little bit about the different steps in this and see if you can start to notice where you are in your own hero's or heroine's journey. Okay? The first stage of the hero's journey is there's a call to action. Right? So you're living in the village, status quo, nothing much is happening. And suddenly a wandering shepherd or somebody comes through the village and offers you, there's an adventure over the mountain. So there's a call to action. Right? So the call to action might be this video right now. Call to action to transform your whole state of being, to transform your perception and life experience in the way you live and express and love and have wisdom and grace, gratitude, and all the different manifestations of wealth, including money, including health, including vitality, including spiritual abundance. Your apple tree is full and overflowing. The fountain is rising from you. This is the call to adventure. Okay, so stage 1 of the hero's journey. Here you are, call to adventure. Second stage, you contemplate this call to adventure. You know, the shepherd wanders off and you're left at home wondering, do you really want to let go? Kind of familiarity, everyone in the village, you know what you do. Status quo is kind of safe, in its normal way of being. It's not very happy. It's not very adventurous, but it's okay. It's kind of okay state to be in. You're kind of relatively satisfied, kind of on-off happiness, sadness, bouncing up and down. But this call to adventure enters your dreams. And you sleep with it, and you dream about it, and you vision it, and you start to get excited about it, and then depressed about it, happy about it, and then resistant about it. So the second stage is this questioning and resistance. You have to pass through this because this is your old story, which is emerging. It's like somebody's offered you a new possibility. What about if we do this? What about if we go there? What if we have this? What if we see this way? Yeah, and it invites us to change. So it's important that we discover a place inside of us that wants to change, like really wants to change, and is kind of sold on all the benefits. But the status quo isn't so good, Familiarity and safety isn't always so interesting. Safety belongs to the dependency stage of us, and then into the adolescent stage, and then risk. So safety into risk. Am I safe enough to take a risk? And this is how I experience it. The safety is always part of us, but safe enough to take a risk. We need that growth edge. If we weren't inspired enough to take a risk, we'd never grow, we'd never evolve, we'd never leap out and take the adventure. So the second stage of the hero's journey, kind of in between questioning, resisting, You know, start to share it with other people and say, oh no, don't leave the village, it's safe here. You know, we need you. You're this role, this character. Anyway, a few days down the line, you realize, you know, it's time. It's time to take the adventure. I've been invited into this. Spirit is calling me. Life is calling me. You know, I'm calling you. You know, you are calling you by being here. Yeah, let's take the step. Okay? So then you step out, you pack your bag and off you go down the road. And you start moving, not knowing the details, not knowing the outcome. But you've got hope in your heart. You've got inspiration in your soul. It's like a feeling power and enthusiasm to begin the journey. Third phase is you meet the mentor. Right? Somebody who's walked the path, not necessarily exactly the same path, but somebody who's stepped into the hero's journey and passed through the different stages. Right? You want to find a mentor who can guide you, who can inspire you, who can encourage you, who can enrich you, who can challenge you, who can offer practices and tools and techniques. Could be me. My name's Guy. I'm designed as a guide. That's what I'm here to offer. So third stage is meeting the mentor. Call to action, resistance, meeting the mentor. So there's a whole training protocol in this next phase. Yeah, you study the ways of manifestation, the ways of vision, the ways of inspiration, the way of connecting, the way of living in a wealthy state, the way of seeing life in its abundance. Like the transfiguration, if you like, of your whole way of being as a human to step into this new dimension of wealth and possibility. So this is an educational phase of learning the tools, techniques, strategies, structures, forms, and it can be as long or as short as you need. It's not about rushing through it, it's about your progressivity, where you're willing to expand from the state of kind of safety and survival and normality into an expanded state where you start to embrace new energies and new qualities. Okay, fourth stage is you then set free from the mentor. The mentor says, it's time for you to step out into the world now. You do your thing. You go on the quest. So it's another layer of the quest where you now meet the ordeal. Yeah, you meet the dragon. You have to cross the swamp. You have to go through the dark forest. Yeah? And that's the test. Now, you might notice this in previous moments of your growth and evolution. You have a desire for something, and all that appears is a contrast. So you want more love, and suddenly there's this huge abandonment, and lack, and loss, and grief. In the midst of the desire for opening to love fully, you have the opposite appears. Or in terms of wealth, like you open up for more wealth, and suddenly there's poverty consciousness, poverty in your bank balance, poverty in your friendships. The contrast often appears in the moment of the wish, the intention. And I invite you to see this in the hero's journey. It's called the ordeal, the challenge. It's a test of faith to see if you really want what you say you want. And it's also part of the healing transformation stage. So I'd like more wealth in love, in money, in relationships, in health, in vitality and expression. I want this. So I know this is me. I know this is what I belong to. I know this is what life is offering. It's what I'm gifted with. And I want to be this, and I want to share this with others. I want us to go into this tribal state of wealth. So the challenges come along. Other people's opinions appear. Okay, this is not good for you. It's not going to work out. You should be more rational. You should follow the old ways and the pathways. And, this kind of letting go process is challenged. Okay? I want you to recognize it's a test of your faith, of your vision, of the original call to adventure. The adventure is I want to grow and expand and change and transform. I'm ready for this. And it requires your commitment, your intention, and your power. This is really foundational, to take that step as the hero to meet the ordeal of all the challenges. And what you start to notice is you stay steady in your vision and your feeling and your commitment and intention, you pass through this dark forest of challenges, or the dark night of the soul, or that confusion, because your North Star is focused, that you know how to navigate from the heart, from feeling, from inspiration, from inside out. So you pass through the ordeal. And the other side of the ordeal is the realization. In terms of the hero stories, where you find the gold, you find the treasure. Joseph Campbell calls it boon. It's like the gift is given. And the gift in this case is the total realization that I am a being of life and I am already wealthy. I've always been wealthy. I just fell asleep. I forgot. I got lost. I believed in other people's scarcity. I was caught in the game of affirming my limitations and arguing for them. I got lost in survival and struggle and stress. So you're forgiving self, forgiving. And in the forgiving comes an opening, in the opening comes realization. I am already wealthy. I've always been. I just wasn't aware of it. So you wake up, and this is the gift. This is the gold. Then there's the last stage of the hero's journey. Is then you come back to the village and you bring the gift to the people. The gift of your learning, the gift of your inspiration, the gift of your realization, the gift of how you pass through the challenge. Because now you've become the mentor. You've become the guide. You've become the visionary who inspires, encourages, and activates and awakens others so they can go on their own hero's journey of awakening, growing, expanding. So I'd like you to consider that the wealth curriculum, the inner game of wealth, is a hero's journey. And these steps, just say them really clearly. There's a call to vision, there's a resistance to vision, there's meeting the mentor, there's the ordeal, and there's a realization. The last step is returning the gift, giving it back, paying it forward, sharing it to others. So hopefully this is an interesting map, not just about this course, but about everything in life. So we've got these 4 stages of learning we just talked about. We've got the hero's journey. So I want to talk about something else. Let's take a breath as we transition. Breathing in, reconnecting to the life inside of us. Relaxing. Even if you're resisting what I'm saying, see if you can relax into it and welcome it with some openness of mind, or lots of openness of mind and heart. Some excitement or some terror, some fear or some joy. Whatever's present, acknowledging it in your present field of awareness, but acknowledging yourself as still being here in this conversation, in this inquiry, in this possibility. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit now about a very important dynamic, relaxation. Relaxation. There's a lot of new teachings, not new, they're very old, but they're coming into our awareness right now about the nervous system and self-regulation. It's such an amazing time. There's so much wisdom being shared, so many great practices of healing and transformation appearing. But just to bring in this conversation about the nervous system into the dynamics of wealth. One way of getting things is doing lots. Lots of effort, lots of action, lots of activity, pushing, forcing, willing, this motivation, I must do, I should do, I can do. So there's a force involved. Okay? When we do this, kind of burning adrenaline, we're working with the sympathetic nervous system, and it's the realm of action. Okay? So of course this is necessary sometimes. Okay? Sympathetic system, action, will, drive. Now, on the flip side is the parasympathetic nervous system, our relaxation response. And we're not relaxing just so that we can then produce more effort. That's not what's going on here. We're not just relaxing so we can then go into more action. We're relaxing because relaxation is just as valuable as the action, if not more so, and I'll explain. What happens when we relax? We release tension. We release resistance. We release stress. Our system calms down. If you imagine a lake and the wind is blowing Like, there's all these kind of mini waves and ripples, and it's like it's not still. You can't see anything in the lake. Yeah? That's the sympathetic nervous system, which is kind of overexcited, overdoing, pushing, pushing, pushing. We breathe, slow down the heartbeat, calm down, connect to ourselves. The wind of the sympathetic nervous system calms down, becomes a soft breath, and the lake becomes still. And the still lake we can see like a mirror. What can we see? We can see the movement of grace. We can see vision. We can sense subtle feelings and impressions and this inner guidance that comes. But we're genuinely ready for what the Native Americans have offered about the vision quest, to receive vision, to receive inner guidance, intuition, inspiration, illumination. So we have to calm down, soften, slow down, relax, and open ourselves to be receptive to what's next, to even receive our desire. So relaxation is hugely important in this process. When I was at university, Loughborough University in England, I was part of a sleep experiment. It's great. They paid you as a student to fall asleep. Fantastic. And it's one of the top sleep researchers places in the world, apparently. What they discovered is that if you have a power nap between 20 and 45 minutes in the afternoon, somewhere between like 3 and 5 or 3 and 6 o'clock, a power nap can recharge you. It switches on the brain. It revitalizes you. If you sleep for more than 45 minutes, you go into a second stage of sleep where you then need 4 hours. So sometimes you can have a sleep for more than 45 minutes and you feel more groggy, more tired, more restless, not refreshed. But a power nap, ideally between 20 and 45 minutes, resets the system. What's actually happening here? So you sleep and you drop from the beta wave rhythm, which is the stress response rhythm, into alpha. And in alpha, your body starts to rejuvenate. It relaxes, harmonizes. There's a natural state of joy that emerges without effort. Some people have said it's impossible to be in conflict in alpha. And that's interesting, isn't it? You've got all the wars in the world, all the arguments, all the disagreements, all the tension, all the stress. That's all beta wave rhythm. So we could educate the planet on how to move into alpha wave, whether you're having a power nap or meditation or visualization, consciously, deliberately, on purpose, moving ourselves into alpha wave, we can relax and open and expand our awareness. Now, this goes against the cultural narrative, which you may have been educated into, which is you need to work harder, you need to do more, you need to put more effort in, you need to strive and struggle, you need to earn it, you need to deserve it. All of these conversations are part of what I want you to explore in the wealth wounding, the conditioning that's become part of your subconscious, that's become part of your projection, that becomes part of your everyday creation. We take on the stories of others, their perceptions and beliefs, and kind of morals sometimes, and standards. And then we act out because we want their love. Gabor Mate talks about this, the dialogue between authenticity, which is being true to ourselves, and attachment, I need to belong. Sometimes we give up our authenticity in a desire to belong to the community. So we start doing stuff that we don't really want to do, but we don't want to lose the connection. So we start doing behavior that's not true to our essence. It's not true to us. It's not really who we are. But in our acting out, trying to belong and connect, we deny our sovereignty, our dignity, our own essence. At some point in the waking up process, you realize, I matter. Yes. My existence is my existence. I'm here to express my reality, my version of it. The way I'm going to do that is by authentically connecting to who and how I am and manifesting that into the world. Now, one of the best ways to do this is to learn to consciously relax. So relaxation softens the beta wave rhythm into alpha. It brings us into the parasympathetic nervous system. Our body starts to self-regulate, come to a state of homeostasis. Body starts to heal and reorganize itself. You can go deeper into delta and theta. Within gamma, the body really goes very big into the healing phase. And it's important to learn to train our brain waves through our activity, our breath, our meditation, our visualization, so we can deliberately shift into deeper states of these brain waves, which are really energy waves. When you're in an alpha state, you enter the realm of vision more naturally, more easily. You become receptive, you become more intuitive to like inner whispers. Beta wave, you're kind of rationally thinking, analyzing, comparing, contrasting. So that is the effort of the brain. Headaches, tension headaches from overthinking. And these repetitive loops that often go on. This is beta wave stress. As you drop into alpha, there's more space between the thoughts. The thoughts become more deliberate, more intentional, more conscious. You've probably heard it. It's said popularly, we have over 60,000 thoughts a day or more. And apparently 75%, I don't know how anyone possibly measure this, are stress thoughts, survival thoughts. Because the brain is hardwired to survive. And who we are is not just the brain. We are a being. We are the ghost in the machine. We are spirit in this form. We transcend the physical limitations in our energetic presence, our awareness. And as we allow ourselves to be more fully who we really are, this kind of invisible, present awareness, then we start to operate consciously within this vehicle. And we turn this equation from 75% survival thinking into like 100% thriving thinking, thriving, prospering, deliberate, intentional causality. So mastery of mind is really important. If we'd been brought up in Tibet, we would have understood and learned early on much more about cultivation of mind consciousness. It's part of the tradition which is thousands of years old, as in India and other places that have a big spiritual heritage, which is really about waking up our full capacity. But often in the Western world, we end up getting caught into this kind of cultural matrix of push and effort and do and self-image and this performance self. And we're just really burning out our adrenal system, overworking the kidneys, putting too much sympathetic energy into our life experience. So out of this talk, even if you don't come on a 21-day journey with us, right, just this resetting of relaxation, reconnecting to the nervous system will transform your life completely. You'll find more harmony in your body. Opens you up for receptivity, intuition, inspiration. So this is the piece about relaxation, brainwaves, parasympathetic nervous system, and opening ourselves up. Okay. Another big breath as we transition to the next dialogue. So I'd just like to name a few of the sources, teachers, wisdom, which have really mentored me, supported me, guided me, along with my own intuition. Just want to give thanks for them. So one of these characters, I want you to look him up, is Neville Goddard. I'll write these on the group later, all these resources. Neville Goddard, whose genius is about living in the end, awakening our imagination, feeling the as if, manifesting in present. Incredible teachings, okay? Neville Goddard, that's one person. Another person, you're probably familiar, is Esther Hicks, who channels this intelligence called Abraham. There's lots of amazing teachings around law of attraction, energy, releasing resistance, entering the vortex of possibility. I integrate that awareness into this curriculum. Another person, maybe you're familiar with him, Joe Dispenza. Fantastic. How breath and energy and mind and heart coherence lead us to an optimum state where we're kind of broadcasting our vibration out to the world. Amazing. Bruce Lipton talks about epigenetics, how we can literally transform and influence ourselves in the body. He's written a book called The Biology of Belief. The impact of mind with body, not over body, not dominating mind with body. It's incredible. This influence of our thoughts into our biochemistry. Joe Dispenza also wrote a book which is all about when we think something, how we can transform our cellular situation. Great stuff. The origins of this kind of four approach reality also arise much earlier with something which was called the New Thought movement back in the 1920s, 1940s. We had Neville Goddard as part of that. We had people like Mary Baker Eddy, who's a Christian scientist, who started to present teachings about original blessing, that we are born from the original blessing, not original sin, not disconnected, broken, disconnected from source energy, but original blessing, that the energy of God, life, of Goddess, is presently alive inside of us. We are now in this moment. And we can tap into this deliberately through our feeling, our imagination, and our intention. This is what's called the New Thought movement. You can look that up as well. Still new in the present moment. But looking back even further than this, the Hermetics, this is literally like a couple of thousand years ago now, in the mystery schools, used to believe that this is a mental universe or an imaginal universe, and there are no solid objects. This is part of the teaching, is that consciousness and energy shapeshifts and manifests as the appearance of what we later call physical reality. So this way of seeing and teaching is very, very ancient. We now re-emerging. It's like fashion design, you know? Like the 60s, kind of the 70s, again and again and again, different cycles. So the Hermetics, which is like 2,000 years ago, even longer, in the mystery schools, were revealing what we now come to understand as quantum intelligence, quantum energy, quantum field. Everything is born from imagination and intention. I simply come to call this the inside-out approach, or beginning from within. That reconnecting from this energy that we are. Bye, Nicola. Thank you for watching. And everyone else, I'm going to continue for another half an hour. Right? Okay, so I'm just saying some of these names. There's more. People have inspired me. There's a great chap called David Byer on YouTube. Brilliant, inspirational speaker. Really connected to this kind of new paradigm of wealth, awakening, consciousness. And there's many more. I can list these, and I will list these within the course, because I want you to do more research, more depth, study, and experimentation as you start to enter more and more into this wealth paradigm, which is evolving and expanding. This is not an important part of this, is that we are always in a process of expanding and evolving. So wealth is not a fixed thing, right? Understood that part of the curriculum, let's move on. It's a growth process, it's an evolutionary process. The more we focus on it, the more we see, the more we behave differently, the more we believe differently, the more we have faith in life, the more connected we are, and it expands and expands and expands. So I just want to do a little recap, okay? So one aspect of the wealth curriculum is looking at wealth wounds and poverty of perception. Another aspect of this work is looking at our life experience as the hero's journey, that we are on a journey of transformation, healing, renewal, new vision, new energy. Another aspect of this journey is studying the people who've gone before us, who've mastered these tools, techniques, and awareness. We're going back to deeper traditions, deeper spiritual traditions that understand about wealth. You can research on Google if you like, wealth statements in the Bible, in all the religious texts. You have to reconnect to source energy and source consciousness. We now have different words in our present age for expressing these common, universal principles and themes and energies. What I want you to understand, like really study this for yourself, is that perhaps you've got caught in like a web. Some people call this a matrix, like a web of other people's ideas, other people's expectations. And you've internalized these. Freud calls this the super consciousness. superego. So the ego, which is awareness, the superego is the internalized conversation, the inner critic, the self-talk, which is really reproducing the beliefs that you've been given over the years of your experience. This is like this continuous like dialogue of like, I can't have this, I shouldn't have this, denying, resisting, blaming, judging, opinions, expectations. This whole drama of thought that is in the survival mentality, which is attached to our personality, which then produces the results of our experience. It's like a self-defeating loop, so like a negative spiral that comes down and down and down. The more we believe that we're not worthy, the more lack of worth comes to us. The more we believe we don't have, the less we have. Our beliefs get manifested on the screen of experience. So we have to break this. There's a process called pattern interruption, which is sheep. You just start to see something differently. A break from thinking, like shake it out, breathe in, dance it, share, shout, scream, jump up and down, change your state. Tony Robbins is great for this. Change your state of being, changes your perception. Like change it. I'm a dancer, DJ. I love to work with music and energy and shift people from the dance floor. People that come at the beginning of the dance are not the same people at the end of the dance. Their chemistry has been renewed, their vision is renewed, their energy is opened up. Something new is changed and shifted in the dance space. And we now see and feel differently. We now dream differently. Now, we don't have to dance necessarily to make those shifts. We can do it through breathing techniques, deeper into feeling, enhancing visualization. So many techniques available. Tapping, shaking, breathing, sounding, and go on and on. I've got lots of these tools and techniques that I will share with you in the wealth curriculum. It's going to be overflowing, abundant wealth curriculum full of juicy techniques and tools that are really going to enrich and enhance your life in the way of seeing and feeling and behaving and existing. Okay, so where are we now? Okay, looking at this dance of manifestation. So you got this wealth presence, who I am, how I am, as a feeling, energized, connected being. And then the journey of translating this as expression outwardly. This translation out into the world. Let's take on this idea that life is a dream, it's imaginal, it's consciousness and energy. And it translates down through different dimensions of expression to appear as physical creation. Which we all now know, we studied a bit of quantum physics, is not solid ground. It's vibrating, it's energy, it's changing state, as Einstein was talking about, change and shifts and transformation. So recognizing this shape shifting from one dimension to another, to another, to another, from a thought into a thing, from a feeling into a form, from a dream into manifestation. It steps down through different layers. We want to become masters of that conscious creative spiral from the vision into action. And it begins inside of us. It begins in our intention, it begins in our imagination, it begins in our feeling, in our energy, in our broadcasting, and follows then with inspired action and having those conversations and doing those things and generating those circumstances and listening to guidance where to move and where to stop and what to express. And we become the conduits for life to manifest through us. Something interesting, money is called currency. Currency as in current of energy. Current of energy. In the old days, it used to be exchanging eggs for apples and everything else. It used to be things, and it was paper, and now it's just numbers on a screen. It's symbolic. The thing, money is a symbolic representation of the meaning that we give to it. It's an energy and a symbol. We can reframe that energy and symbol. We can manifest that differently by believing differently about it. So one of the things we talked about earlier in this introduction was about the meaning we give to wealth. Start a new wealth conversation for yourself and for your family and for your friends and for life. begin to communicate from a state of already abundance. We have to break this addiction to seeking. I'm not enough, I need more. I haven't got, I've got to go and get. This journey from here to there. We're always creating distance. It's like chasing a horizon that we can never reach. Instead of closing your eyes, breathing in, feeling our own connection already is as now in presence, in I amness. Feeling your own natural state of wealth. And then being grateful for this and expanding the gratitude out into the field of action. And sharing this with others. And in the sharing, it multiplies and grows and expands. This is a whole kind of shapeshift away from this Western culture that's all about doing and having and getting and searching and status and symbol. Back to something which is more natural and authentic and vibrates in the heart of us, which is I am born of my original blessing. I'm part of this beautiful life, love, wisdom, joyful mystery that is existence. And we start to live out of this state of presence, not personality matrix. Presence. We're starting to live from a state of fullness. The natural byproduct of living from a state of fullness is we manifest from fullness. We start to then attract fullness, and the money comes, and the relationships come, and the things that we want come as a byproduct, not as a desperate search, not as a desperate need. It's a byproduct of being who we are and how we are. We're simply extending ourselves out into the world. Okay, I'm just checking the time. It's 12:10. I would like to just give a little bit of context about the 21-day program that I'm offering starting next week. What I've shared today is an introduction to some of the themes and visions and perceptions and paradigm what I'm offering. My why of offering is because it touches my life so fully, the story of the hero's journey, going through the hero's journey, coming back to share it with people. I want to share this with you, and you to share it with others, and they share it with others, and it replicates and ripples out. So we enter a new wealth paradigm, which is not defined by the current state of the economy, which is not defined by the currency of other people's expectations. Yeah? We free ourselves from this prison, right, of having to change the circumstances. We start to free ourselves up to start to transform from consciousness, from energy, from inside out. So understanding the mechanism of reality, the physics of manifestation. So the 21-day inner game of wealth curriculum journey is this. It's a journey. There are going to be videos posted in a private Facebook group, which will be principles. That'll be one aspect of it. Principles, overview, content, and practices, which match those principles. So you're going to have daily tasks, 21 daily tasks at least. There might be a few more here and there, which are inviting you to manifest that practice, that principle in practice. So for you to translate these wealth precepts, visions, principles into your daily experience. Now the requirement is a willingness, is an openness, is a desire. Yeah, I'm ready to give it a go. I want to make a shift. I want to make a change for myself and others and the people around me, and for my whole state of existence. I'm ready for this. There's an openness towards it. Even when resistance rises, you know, the second stage of the hero's journey, resistance comes. As you question, as you doubt, as you fear, as you wonder. But your vision and intention and commitment is stronger than the resistance. That's what we need in order to grow. Okay. So it can be 21 days of principles and practices. Alongside this, I'm also going to invite you to create a wealth journal. We'll give you some feedback on journaling, which also includes visionary journal, inspirational guidance. I'm also going to add in some of the shamanic journey work that I do. So there's going to be some drum journeys to help you move into this alpha state. I'm also going to upload some of my dance journeys, some of the music playlists with a little bit of guidance, video guidance at the beginning. So you can translate if you feel to, want to, through dance. There's a whole process I'm going to describe. 3/4 the way through the wealth curriculum, which is about dream dancing. Taking a dream, the vision, and manifesting it through your body and expression. I'm also going to give you some videos there about shaking, releasing tension. There's some videos about how to go into forgiveness, how to release these wealth wounds and poverty perceptions. At some point during the 21 days, I'm going to come on as well and do a live Zoom with you in person. So we can do some questions and answers and how's it going to help you digest and integrate and ground the teaching. Ideally, it'd be great if we all start together. So it's going to start next Wednesday. And we can go through the 21-day journey together live as it's happening. Or you can enter it at any point in time, whether it's on Wednesday or at time that suits you. And you can come into that and you can then go through the journey at your own pace. And I'm hoping, wishing, intending, wanting for you that these principles and practices can be digested and become part of your daily experience of living, and you can review them, return to them, and deepen into them. Piaget, psychologist, talks about learning schemas or learning spirals. It begins with a small idea. So the idea might be what I'm calling view, or the perceptual paradigm. It begins with just as an introduction to the idea. We start to practice it by looking at what's in the way of my clean view, clear view, and it keeps expanding and evolving. It keeps going, keeps expanding. So our growth process is working through these learning spirals. So you can come back to the breath meditations or visualizations or into the alpha state teachings, and you can deepen into them, deepen, deepen, deepen. So this is some of the context of what's going to be happening within the 21-day wealth curriculum. And the price point, I've already shared it on the group, but I'll say it now, is I'm offering 4 different price points because I'd love this to be available for everybody, and come in at your current budget that feels good for you. So the first layer is £111, it's 222, 333, and the 4th layer is pay more than that if it's in your abundance, value, wish, and ability right now. I like to bend a little bit about how we work with finances. So it's not like fixed price, it's this much. I want it to be felt for you. What is a price or investment that works for you to receive this teaching? And it might be that you're halfway through the course and feeling, oh, this is incredible. I'm opening up and expanding, and wealth is coming on all the different levels. I want to pay some more. So I'm open, flexible, see what's there. But the lowest starting price is £111 for 21 days of masterclass level wealth enrichment, quality training, teaching, manifestation that I want to give to you because I want you to have this in your life and be part of your evolution and your growth and your benefit. If you're feeling attracted to this, message me immediately. Don't hesitate. Don't think about it too much. If you feel a resonance, I want to do this, I'm ready for this, message me. I can hook you straight into the group and we're going to start in a week. So that's the invitation. Make contact with me today if you feel resonance with what I'm saying. You want to deepen into this journey to go through your own hero's journey beyond this. I would like to begin to close this with a practice from Jose de Silva, beautiful Mexican man who devised a whole series of practices for his children so that they could study better in school. Okay? That was the origin of his approach. But it's developed and evolved into an incredible practice that really helps us evolve and grow in life itself. So this is a little gift for you on top of the other gifts. So I'll just describe it first and then we can do it together. So this is about shifting from beta wave rhythm into alpha wave. That's the first dimension of this. It's a shifting our state. So as we enter the alpha, and the second stage is we then visualize a big screen in front of us. So imagine this big cinema screen out there. He says 6 feet in front of us. It doesn't look an exact movement. But a big screen in front of us on like a 45-degree angle. See it out there, big screen, blank screen. Third stage is you project onto that screen what you want, what you wish, what you desire. And then you enter that screen with all your senses as much as you can. Make it vivid. This is a conscious, creative projection exercise technique. Now he advises that you do this as a conscious setup at the beginning of the day. You can do it any time during the day. But imagine waking up in the morning, just coming out of that green state. You're already in alpha. So before you jump out of bed and brush your teeth and get dressed and go to work, whatever you're doing, spend an extra 5 minutes in bed, eyes closed, in that alpha wave rhythm. See the screen in front of you. Project onto that screen how you wish the day to go. And you enter the vision, you enter the screen. So it becomes a living movie. The important thing here is that one side is to see the details. Okay, so I'm going to go and see a friend. We're going to go to the park. We're going to go and have a walk. So you start to see the actual details of what's happening. But you're also entering the emotion and the feeling. So you enter into the quality of the experience. What will I feel like when I'm with this friend? Oh, joy, happy, laughter, present, alive in my body. Contained, content. Now, what am I going to feel? Enter the qualities of what the vision brings to you. Yeah? And breathe into those in the present moment and start to feel those qualities spreading through your present moment. Feel it in presence. So maybe a future vision, but you're feeling it in present embodiment here and now. And then the last stage, I'm adding this a little bit, we didn't talk about this, but you go into the third eye and you see it offering up. You give it to God, you give it to a quantum field, you give it to creation. It's like, my wish, I release it now, I let it go. So you take your focus off it, you give it, and in that giving, you allow the quantum field to get to work in collaborative, synchronicity, cooperation, coincidence, and all the other beautiful forms of resonance as it starts to find the details and the energies and the qualities to bring that to you. To bring it to you. So this is called a conscious setup. Okay? You breathe in and out through the nose. In this state of meditation, very slowly breathing in, breathing out. So you slow everything down. And feel yourself just entering the space of alpha, just entering that softness of feeling, that openness and awareness. You're relaxed in your body, you're content, you're available, you're receptive. You'll start to see this big movie screen, this blank movie screen right in front of you to start with. So you don't have to do this in the morning, you can do it any time of day. You're doing it right now. And I want you to picture onto your screen something you really want in your life, you really desire, you're passionate about. See an image of this, or you don't see visually, not everybody sees visually, just know it's there, know it's on your screen. You picture it or feel it or know it. Place it on your screen with attention right now. Breathe into your belly, up into your chest, and project that feeling from your heart, the love, the energy, onto the screen. So that we're a projector in cinema, all those light images are also full of your energy now. So you breathe in a bit stronger. You start to energize what's on the screen. And enter it with some feeling, with some sensitivity, sensuality, joy, pleasure, harmony. Start to get inside the qualities of what this vision does with you in the present moment in your body. And really invite you to allow these feelings of having your wish fulfilled in the present moment. It's the teaching from every God to live in the end as your wish is fulfilled in your present embodiment. So feel it alive now. I'm in this love relationship. I'm already abundant. Balance is full. There's happiness, there's harmony in my life. I'm content. I feel the wonder. I am statements. What I will or I will not in the future. I am feeling connected. I'm feeling alive. I'm joyous. I'm grateful. And just keep softening yourself as you enter this kind of alpha wave rhythm as you start to appreciate and be grateful for this vision that you're producing on the screen of your inner vision. Be sending gratitude and having faith that you've planted this seed in the quantum field, as you offer it up through the third eye. Imagine giving it to the quantum field. So you give this to the great movie director, God, Goddess, life force, intelligence. You say, I offer to you to take care of the details. I trust in the life force that it will bring me the harmony and the beauty and the presence and the energy of the quality of my vision that I'm asking for. Trusting in the life, trusting in the intelligence of a life that is intelligent enough to give birth to you and sustain you, is intelligent enough to keep providing the resources and the energy and the relationships and the situations that are going to meet your heart's desires. Trusting this. It's not that you have to deserve it, you have to be approved for it, if you do anything special for it. Just understand the mechanics or the physics of reality creation, which are part of your natural being. So you can release this vision now. You're just living in this state, feeling the state of like, wow, this has already happened, it's already, my bank balance is full, my heart is open, my health is great, I'm feeling wonderful, and content and relaxed. And you softly open your eyes, it's important, softly open your eyes. So you don't rush back into the world of, over there. You stay in the aliveness of the feeling. I have lived my life for a large part as a visionary being. I call this future backwards. So I live in the vision and I bring it back into the present here and let it vibrate here and let it manifest through me from this. So you can also call this like a future scout. You're in the future of imagining and bringing it back into presence. Consciously, deliberately, on purpose. This is very different to living unconsciously from the past. It's back to the brain, just react. And life gets produced from unconscious default mechanism from the subconscious. That's past and present, past, present. This is future, or the imaginary realm of possibility into presence, into feeling. And then it translates through your body experience. And your body becomes a broadcasting signal, an attractive mechanism to bring this to you, to magnetize this. And you get really receptive to the inspired actions that you're invited into that follow on from your vision. This consciously setting up your day. Jose de Silva, fantastic. I've been using it for years. And it's become part of my unconscious competence. Like I do it even that when I'm doing often. Like there's an anticipation of what I'm moving into, the feeling quality of it. I'm teaching a dance training this evening, offering an ecstatic dance training for a beautiful group of people. And I can really tune into the quality and the energy of what's going to take place there. And I start to live in the vibration of me as DJ Colibri, vibrating with joy and happiness and resonance in this imaginal state, which is a felt state here and now. When I live the next few hours until it happens, in that state, and when it occurs, it's just like the boomerang was caught. I've thrown out the intention, I've thrown out the energy, and I'm catching it, and it's manifesting in the present moment. So I become a living field of this wealth vibration, of this wealth vision, of this wealth quality, and I offer that to other people. And for me, this is pretty magical, miraculous, to live this way, to live on purpose, to live from your intention, to live with consciousness. Thank you so much for listening, and invite you to jump in to the wealth curriculum if it resonates with you. I want to share this with you. I feel that this is awakening teaching, which is relevant for all of us to live in a state of wealth, health, vibrancy, attitude of creation and gratitude, and appreciation for existence. We're more present in our body and our being, our breath and our feeling, in relationships, and all that we do. So our wealth is extending out as wealth. We start to recognize we are over an abundant apple tree, a fountain of wealth. Message me either here on Facebook or on my email, which is the number one wealth presence at gmail.com. And yeah, send us a message how you feel about this video. If you've been watching for now, give us some of your comments. And, I'll also share a link so you can share it with your friends if you've been watching today. Please pass it on, pay it forwards. Maybe this is a benefit to friends of yours, the community you live in, family, humanity. Let's spread the message out together so you get to this tribal wealth enlivenment enrichment. I'm going to say thank you very much. Thank you, Kevin, for jumping straight in there. Love it. Thank you for watching to the end, and everybody else. I wish you a beautiful day. I'm just trying to understand when I say that, I really genuinely wish you a beautiful day. And see you, feel you, sense you on my screen, which is not just what I want, it's what I can want for us, what you can want for others. It becomes this is going to be one of the practices, is to start to picture wealth for others. Picture them in happiness, in health, in well-being, in vitality, in abundance of money, and the things they need and desire in their life as well as their inner state of wealth, which is arising. Okay, bye-bye from me, and I look forward to meeting you on the course. Bye-bye.